Not only this, but fasting is invaluable in national crisis. Boy, it appears that we're in a national crisis, does it not?
Yeah.
Folks, listen, how important prayer is. We need to be praying. We need to be seeking the face of the Lord. Not only that, but fasting is invaluable in knowing the will of God.
Right.
Folks, listen, Daniel had some questions. And so Daniel set his face unto the Lord. And look, if you would, at verse 21 of Daniel chapter 9. Verse 21. It says, Yea, while I was speaking in prayer, even the man Gabriel, whom I had seen in a vision at the beginning, being caused to fly swiftly, touched me about the time of the evening oblation. And he informed me and talked with me and said, O Daniel, I am now come forth to give thee skill and understanding. Yeah. Folks, listen, Daniel wanted to know the will of God. So you know what he done? He set his face unto the Lord. Basically, Daniel went in his prayer closet. He shut everything off. He shut everything out. He got along with God. You know what? God heard, answered his prayer, and God blessed him.
Amen. Amen.
You know what, folks? Listen, he done it then, and he can still do it today. Amen. Amen. You see, folks, listen, we need to pray with serious concentration. But can I give you that number 2? We need to pray with a steadfast confidence. Amen. Look, if you would, in Daniel chapter 9, verse 4. It says, And I prayed unto the Lord my God, and made my confession. O Lord, and said, O Lord, the great and dreadful God, keeping the covenant and mercy to them that love him, and to them that keep his commandments. Amen. Folks, listen, in this passage, basically, the invocation to Daniel's prayer is a primer for biblical theology. In other words, it's what holds it all together. It's just the first code. It's the foundation of it all. You say, what is it? Basically, his words describes a God who is great and faithful to keep his promises. Amen. Folks, listen, we need to pray with a steadfast confidence. We need to know who we're talking to.
That's right.
You know what our problem is today? Our problem today is we're spending way too much time telling God how big our problems are instead of telling our problems how big our God is. Amen. Amen. Folks, listen, we're no different than the children of Israel. One of the reasons why we're just walking around the mountain, folks, listen, we're no longer in Egypt, we've been brought out of the bondage of sin, but we're not enjoying the goodness of Canaan either. We're just walking around the mountain. You want to know why? Because just like the children of Israel, we're doing the same thing. We're looking at our problems, we're looking at the giants, and we're saying we can't do anything about that. We can't stand to them. Instead of being like Joshua and Caleb and saying, if God be for us, who can be against us? Right. Instead of talking about how big our giants are, we're going to start talking about how big our God is. Amen. Amen. Yeah, right. Folks, listen, you might say, oh, you're just trying to be an encourager here today. Well, you know what? If it'll get us fired up, yeah, I am. Amen. Amen. Folks, listen, we need to be sincere in our prayer life. Amen. We need to pray with serious concentration. Not only that, we need to pray with a steadfast confidence. Amen.